Thanks for watching. Bit of a quick video. We're going to really quickly paint up a body, but I do think that it is worth making a video about it. Not just because it is for a really cool event, but also because I think I'm going to use some pretty cool techniques. The event I'm painting this body for is Beat the Creek. I will be present there. Hopefully you will see this in time. Hopefully we get a chance to hang out. That would be really cool. This is a Proline Ford F-150 Raptor body, if I have all of that right. Yes, a 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor body for 12.3 inch crawlers, or wheelbase at least. So pretty universal body. Seeing that I'm painting this for these guys makes it, I think, a good versatile choice. So I trimmed it, I already masked it up. All of this pretty straightforward. So I always make my own window masks, for example, and then for the logos I print everything in reverse, like you can see over here, and then I stick that to the outside of the body. I mask the inside of the body and I cut on the inside. In case you've never seen anything paint-wise, I will make sure that this video is part of a playlist where you can see a ton of painting videos that I've done over the years, where I go over all of these techniques. It is really simple. You can do this yourself as well. All it takes is a tiny bit of patience and a steady hand. So there's really not a lot to it. Now, you might wonder, why the heck is there a grandma's curtain on the inside of the body? I have a good reason for that. So let me tell you what's going on over here. This is a technique, I've used this before. In the past, I have done this to my Yeti XXL. I have also done this to, more recently, to my Rift. But in this case, I think it will really come into its own. Plus, I'm using a few different steps currently to make it work out, hopefully a bit better than it did in the past. Not that it didn't work out well in the past, but it was a bit of a hassle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the creek. So the event is called Beat the Creek. I'm like, beat the creek, that's water. So what we're going to do is, if you know those tacky pool pictures that people have, not meaning like people taking pictures of themselves in the pool, because that of course can also be super tacky. Thanks Instagram for making that happen. I mean, if you see somebody having like a really nice clear blue pool, and then you see kind of the sun reflecting on it, and you see like a tiny bit of ripple in the water. That's the effect we're going to go for over here. So how am I going to achieve that? I stuck this, what is this, like a lace? I stuck this to the inside of the body, and we're going to back it with a few different colors. Now, to stick this to the inside, you only want it to kind of be against the Lexan in a few places, but you do want it to be sort of steady. So what I did is I used a tiny bit of tape over here, for example, just to make sure it doesn't move around all too much. But I also used tiny rubber bands, both sides, just to make sure that it's stretched as tight as possible against the Lexan, especially where the Beat the Creek logo is. I'm not going to turn the body upside down currently, because that will potentially shift it and mess it up. And something else that I used is these Protoform. These are actually little guides to help you ream the holes in your body. So in case you have body pins, body posts I should say, you can use these Protoform little guides to, it's like a magnet system. So you have like a little magnet you could put over your body post, and there's also a little magnet that you can put on the outside of the body. So you have something to mark it in. I use it in this case to keep the lace down. So I have 2 of these sets. That means I have 8 of those anchor points, and it works pretty well, just to make sure it's a tiny bit more secure. That's part 1. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to back the lace with blue. So I made 2 different tests. I always recommend holding on to your scrap pieces of Lexan. So in this case, this is actually what comes out of the Ford. So these are the wheel arches. And then I spray a few different colors to make sure that I can actually see what the effect will be. So this gives you a good opportunity to test a tiny bit and to see what you need to do in order to achieve the effect that you want to have. So in this case, I went with regular blue metallic in the middle, which you see over here. These are actually 2 different stages. So I used 2 different steps over here, but I'll get into that later. The center is always the same, so the center is that regular blue metallic. The outsides is then a darker blue metallic, which I intend to use in the bottom of the truck body. And then in this case, I backed the darker blue parts with a tiny bit of bright silver, and then the center part with a white. And I found that in the first instance it looked a tiny bit too tacky, I guess, so a tiny bit too cheap. So this is a regular bright silver, and then the center part is backed with a white. And then in the second instance over here, after I removed the lace, I shot a coat of blue anodized aluminum first, before then backing it with a silver and a blue, or a white. I think that looks a tiny bit more like water and a tiny bit more classy than it does without it. I think that's starting to sound pretty complicated. Long story short, you paint the blue first. After you paint the blue, you remove the lace and then you back it with a couple of colors, a bright silver, a white, that at the very least, but in this case I started off with an anodized blue aluminum, just because that gives it a tiny bit more of a chic effect. So that is what we're going to go for. But first things first, the first thing I need to do is I need to spray on that blue. I'm not bothered at all with the back of the truck, just because I really want the front to be nice, and the front to be like the eye-catching part, along with the logos on the side. And the back, the bed is going to be blacked out anyway, so we don't have to put too much attention into that part. So first thing is going to be the blue metallic in the center, the darker blue metallic in the bottoms. We're going to spray in one direction only, and not too thick. Then we're going to remove that lace, and then we're going to back it. After that, we're going to peel the rest of the masking and fill it in. I needed to put on a bit more paint than I would usually do, but that's just to get the good amount of coverage to achieve this effect. I already took all of the protoform magnet thingies off, also took the tape off. The only thing currently holding the lace into place is the lace into place. I'm like a white rapper. Is those rubber bands. So I'm going to pull this off right now. It's still very much fresh, the paint, but this should give us a tiny bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. I will just turn the lamp on just so you can see it a tiny bit better. I am not completely unhappy about that. So I think that we got a good base coat. We got like a nice start right now for this body. I think it looks like water, and then it looks like it kind of drives through it as well. So really simple effect. I think we will just at least complete the background, and I'll let that sit overnight, and then we'll continue the rest of the body tomorrow. But then at least for the background, you have a good idea of how to do something really simple that has like a pretty good effect. I'm not even sure if you can see me with the lamp on. There I am. That has a pretty good effect. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to paint on that anodized blue aluminum, whatever it's called, and then we're going to back it with this bright silver, or this is actually anodized silver. We're going to use a bright silver, which is the 41 right here, and then back that with a white. So we're going to change the white and the silver a tiny bit just to get the desired effect. Let's paint. There you go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, or squeeze whatever you want. I think this turned out good. So, on to the rest of the colors, which I will do tomorrow. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to have more painting videos, more painting information, go check out the video in which, go check out the playlist in which you found this video perhaps as well. I do tons of painting stuff, and I will do a lot more just because I like painting. This is going to turn out nice, I can already tell. I'm really happy with it so far. Also, go have fun with projects. Just see what you have laying around. When you're at your grandma, just yank the curtains from the windows while she looks the other way, and just bring them home so you can do stuff like this with it. Highly recommend it. Or underwear, whatever you have, just underwear, curtains, anything that you can get your mittens on. Just do it and have fun with it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. More information about this body. I'll just put a link to this body if I can still find it in the video description, and also links to other stuff that you can purchase in the video description. And I will see you in the next video. If you have not subscribed yet, please do. It's free. See you around. Take care. Bye-bye.
Back on.